Good morning. On this, another bright, sunshiny morning here in Winnipeg. And we got a good start on the funnel. Yeah, it didn't go without problems though, which if you watch the rollback you'll see. Yeah, but we got a good start here yesterday. And I can quite well imagine that we will, well, I was going to say we might be finished the funnel, but you know what, there's quite a bit of photo etch. I was just about ready to start on the photo etch when I called her quits last night. So we'll continue on with that after the rollback. And we did have a sort of a sunrise this morning, which you probably just saw. If I remembered to dub it in, that is. Anyway, yeah, occasionally I'll say something like that, and then later on when I'm editing, I forget to, show what it is I'm talking about. Like maybe a picture, or in this case, the sunrise. But being as I'm talking about it so much, I'm sure I'm going to remember now. Anyway, there's quite a lot of little parts here that we have to stick on the side of our funnel later. And I so got to clean up my model table here. It is getting so junky. I keep talking about it, but I don't do it. So maybe I should take an extra 5 minutes. I don't want to take out 5 minutes from model making time. It's funny, we procrastinate stuff like that, things that really don't take that long to do. If we don't actually have to do them at the moment, we don't do them. And anyway, let's roll back and see how it is that we got to this place. Now, because this Revell glue does not harden as quickly as the extra thin, I don't want to be putting any extra stress on this joint here when I'm turning it around trying to touch it up with the number 66. And there's several little places here. I was noticing when I was looking at the last episode, there was places on the, for instance, on the, I have to be careful where I grab this now, on the light here that I should really touch up with the 56, and I'd gotten green, or was it the red I got? I can't remember now. If it's the red, it's not that important. I think it was the green. Yeah, it was the green. So I've got to touch that up because this is the one that will be shown. In the meantime, I'm going to put this in a nice safe place, and we'll probably deal with it tomorrow. Actually, there's not a whole lot I can show you on it. I'm just going to go around with a paintbrush and, well, touch it up. Now, I'm just going to push stop here and find a nice place to put this where it's safe. Remember when we did the Bismarck? It seems to me we ended up with 3 modules like this before we actually finished the superstructure and could drop everything down. At least I think there was 3. There might be 3 with this one too. I'm not sure. I know there's another one. Okay, we are basically done with 27, except for, like I say, touching up. I'll try not to use the word touch up anymore in this episode. Okay, 28, the funnel. So we need the C sprue, the H sprue, K sprue. Oh, and look, photo etch spider. I remember when we did that on the Bismarck. I remember, when we got to the one on the hood, I was kind of getting used to it. And I think we'll probably figure this one out too. But interestingly enough, this part on the Yamato kit is plastic. Okay, let's get our parts here. Maybe get a bit of a start here this afternoon. Okay, I've got all our little parts here, and I was noticing that these four, even though there's a H6 and H10, they look a lot alike, so I've kept them separate here. And also the same with these angle brackets. I guess you'd call them gussets or braces or something that go on the bottom of this part right here. They look very, very similar, but there's obviously slight differences. So I'm keeping them separate as well. Now, it appears that this is all the same funnel, obviously, because there is only the one funnel. Okay, now this shows it upside down. Okay, now what I'm thinking of doing here is I just want to sort of separate it again. I know I don't have to do this, but it just sort of makes it a little easier. This is a build. This is a build. Now, this goes on here, so this should go like this. Okay. And this goes on all together like so. And then this one is separate too. It's unusual that they would have a drawing to show just two little pieces being dropped on, but then I'm realizing that this piece is upside down, whereas it's right side up for all the others. Okay, I'm thinking out loud again. And as you can see, I just went ahead and I nipped everything off. I don't know if this is going to be the new normal or what. Yeah, I just sort of felt like getting it done, getting it over with. I'm going to go ahead now and I'm going to clean the flashing up off of all of these, and I'm going to do it off camera. And then we'll see if we can maybe glue some pieces together yet this afternoon. Okay, we got everything all cleaned up here now. And I was noticing that, I don't know if I should tell you this or not, but I probably did the same thing that on this funnel that I did on, I don't know if it was the Bismarck or, just let me put it together here. Okay, I don't know if you can see it or not. It's very, very slight, but when I was filing the flashing off of the edge, and I was trying to be very careful not to do this because I knew it could happen, I'm gonna have a little crack going on there. Now I know I can, it seems to me I use sprue glue or something like that, or it could be that when I glue these together, you know, they're going to, the glue is going to, or the liquid plastic is going to sort of fill in the crack. I believe that's more, it's not as bad as when I did I think it was the funnel on the Bismarck. But I remember being quite disgusted with myself, and I do recall having to try and fill that crack. Now that I'm looking at it, I'm hardly seeing anything here. Okay, now, this piece here, okay, I've already checked it out, and there are 4 different ways it can go. It can go this way, or it can go this way, or it can go this way, or it can go this way. You know what I mean? So, I don't know if it's going to make a difference to the way these pegs go. For instance, it wants us to put an, I believe I've got it right now, so I think I'm supposed to put an H6 right in here. Well, that would be one of these. Okay. I think I'm just going to put them in place and maybe put a little bit of the extra thin quick setting on it just to sort of lock it in place. It seems like a fairly tight fit. I did not remove the flashing. Okay, so off of this peg part. So it's a nice tight fit. Nobody's going to see it anyway. It's going to be all hidden inside the funnel here. Now, okay, so we need an H6 here. We also need an H6 on the other end. I think there's a very, very slight difference in length. Okay. So that means that the 10s obviously go on the sides. That's a looser fit. Maybe that's one of the ones I was sort of messing around with, scraping the flashing off. It's actually quite a loose fit. I'm wondering, have I got these wrong? I don't think so. I was very careful to get them right. These ones are a tight fit, and these ones are just flopping around in there. Wonder why that is. Have to think about it. Okay, I put this part together here, and I'm thinking at this point that these ones here that are so incredibly loose, I think it's a mistake on Trumpeter's part, because I think that they probably had intended for these pieces to stand perfectly vertical, and as near as I can tell, when I look ahead in the manual here, all they are supposed to do is represent some kind of vents that came up on the inside of the chimney. So I'm just going to go ahead and glue them in place. And also, I don't think it matters if you were to put them in before or after you got this C15 in place. I thought that possibly they had to go in conjunction with something else, but now, okay, after you get this on here, then the next thing you would do would be to put the C22 on the top, which is this, and it just sort of fits on there, something like that, and it too is not a very tight fit. Have I got this upside down or something? No, this is the first time I'm trying this. I would have thought that this lip here would have fit in there, but am I moving this out of the field of view here? Just let me get in here a little bit here. That is so aggravating when you try to watch somebody do something and they slowly get it out of the field of view. That is not fitting. Now, I don't want a whole bunch of people getting themselves all hoarse yelling at their screen because they know I'm making a mistake and they know what it is and I can't see it, and that's frustrating too. Now, I do eventually figure out where I went wrong here, but it takes a long time. Maybe on the bottom of the screen I'll put where you can scrub ahead to get past this nonsense. I do eventually figure it out, though. If I put this in here, yeah, if I put this in here, it's going to spread the funnel apart. Okay, I'm going to have to just check this out and see what I'm doing wrong here. Okay, I was thinking that maybe if I was to, take my file, like this one is rounded on this side, so I could, and enlarge it like that, but then when I go to test it, I could tell that even I would have to remove a lot to get it to fit. Now, does anybody else who did the Rodney or Nelson, have you had this problem? It just, it kind of goes like that, but not when they're together. Okay, so the only other option then would be for me to remove this flange, and then of course you'd have to eyeball it, and then when you put this together, then naturally you just have to center it. Like I say, you just have to eyeball it and make sure it's square before the glue hardens. Otherwise, it just won't fit, folks. It won't fit. I'm sorry. It's not like I don't know how to do this. Now, the base, it fits fine. You'll notice it's sort of keyed. There's a little key right there. And, yeah, it fits really well. But, yeah, I just don't know. Okay, I beat this to death. Okay, I took the file and I've gone all the way around the inside to just try and make this a little bit more. I haven't tried it yet, so I don't know how this is going to fit. I do have all the other parts glued in place, except for these pipes here. And I've concluded that it doesn't matter which ones go where, they're all the same. So I don't know what Trumpeter was thinking of. Okay, let's just try this now and see, is it going to be any better? Or are we going to have to remove this flange? Well, if I was to try and force it in right now, in all likelihood what's going to happen is I'm going to split it at the seam, which, by the way, turned out pretty good. I think once I gently sand this down. Now, I don't want to sand it down too much because it looks like there's some sort of a texture on that. Now, maybe it's just the way the plastic is. Yeah, I'm going to have to take out a few minutes and remove this lip here, or this flange that my fingernail is caught on. Okay, here's the latest. I'm pretty sure I heard somebody yelling at their computer, and they were saying, Ron, that's not supposed to go down inside here. It's supposed to sit flush on the top, and there's supposed to be a little gap all the way around it. You know what? I actually remember seeing something like that on, was it the Hood? I can't remember. Yeah, it doesn't go down inside. Well, it's a good thing I didn't remove that. Okay, now I think what happens is when we get these in place, and once again, it doesn't seem to matter. They're exactly the same length, all of them. It's just that the holes on the sides are way bigger than the holes on the ends, and that's why it sort of flops around. And I've already tried it. No matter what combination of these things I do. Okay, so then when we get these vents mounted on so that they're sort of glued against the sides, like I can't get my fingers out of the way and show you, but anyway, then this sits on here, and yeah, it'll be something like this. Okay, problem solved. I'll just go ahead now and get this glued in place. That was a close call. I almost messed it up here. Not that anybody would have noticed. I mean, it would have only dropped down maybe a millimeter, but it would have been wrong. Okay, maybe I won't show you guys this foolishness. Okay, this part of step 28 is done. And I used the quick setting for all of it. And our little brackets, they glued into place really fast. Probably only took about 5 minutes for all 4 of them, or maybe less. And I've got that cap on. Yeah, that was a close call. And we won't talk about that anymore. And I've got our tubes, our vent pipes, you know, more or less glued straight, I believe. At least I think they are. All right, let's move on here. All right, we need some more plastic parts and some photo etch. And once again, photo etch is going to be sticking out of the bottom where it's going to accidentally break off. So, well, we'll just have to be careful, right? Okay, we have all the plastic pieces now for this part of step 28. We just have to get the photo etch, And there's actually only two pieces. I think that, yeah, there's only two pieces. It shows four, but it's the same one twice. Actually, three times over here. No, it doesn't matter. I must be getting tired. It's 9:03, almost 9:04. We started here at the model table almost 14 hours ago. And it's kind of funny, when I look back, I think, like, where did the day go? And yet when I start out in the morning, I think, oh, I got, lots of time. I guess that's the way life's going to go. Anyway, and Kevin's cup is almost empty here. And that coffee's been cold for a long time, but when you just sip away at it all day long, it still tastes good. Now, we're going to have to continue this in the morning. Yeah, it's just way too late to continue on. I'd probably end up making mistakes if I tried to nip off our photo etch right now. So, yeah, we'll see you in the morning. Okay, we need 2 of the D25s. Okay, now there's only one there, right? Well, we got 2 D sheets. Okay, now I forgot to get the part off of the other sheet, but I'm sure it's still there. I wished that they had made this particular part out of plastic. It's going to be too easy to accidentally bend these pieces right here. These 4 pieces. These are actually legs that are going to come down from a platform, you might say, from a deck. These have to go down onto the main deck, and I can envision these being very easily bent out of shape. But I'm going to do my best. Okay, I've got all our little parts cleaned up here now, the pipes and our E15 and E16, and this is the E15. And also on the 16 it was the same thing. I was seeing what appeared to be some sort of, you might say, keying going on here. So I thought, I guess when we, plug in the F2, it's supposed to match up somehow. But if I look at the F2, there's nothing on it. There's nothing to indicate that it's supposed to go any particular way, except that you would want to get it so that it's going to be horizontal. So let's just put this the same way as it is on the manual here. If I can get it turned around. There we go. Okay, we're going to have a little tiny mushroom vent go in right there, the 20, F20. Okay, so now this part here, let's just roll this forward. And this piece here has to go in like this. I think I'll probably just use the, is it going to go in there if I got that right? It's kind of a tight fit. Have I got it right? Yeah. There's the E16 also takes an F20, so there's only one way it can go on. Yeah, I'm pretty sure it's okay, even though it's just a tight fit. Okay, let's get a little bit of where is it now? I went and cleaned up my table. Now I don't know where anything is. Okay, I'm hoping you can see this without the macro lens. But I've taken our little part apart, and I have beveled the edges here. I was thinking that this is just a little bit too tight, and it may not go all the way down. Okay, now we got this right. And just going to use a little bit of extra thin here. Guess I can get my file out of here. And we'll just soften the edges here. Should have maybe done a dry run here, but I think this is going to go together a little bit better now. I'll press down on it without, I don't want to bend those little pins there. Oh yeah, that is going together much better. Let's give it a little pressure for a while. Yeah, that should be all right. Okay, I'm going to do the same thing on the E16. Now the only difference I can see between these two is the fact that one is they're mirror image to each other. This one has the hole here and this one has the hole here, but I knew that I'd probably end up getting them mixed up, so what I've done is, which one is it? Yeah, on this one here I inscribed a 16 using Mr. T's poking device here. Okay, so we know that that one's 16 in case I get them mixed up, you know, like the shell game. Okay, let's turn this so that it's right to the world, you might say. And I would say that's sort of it. All right. Now we want to put number 16, which is this one. It's going to go on here. And I know that I know we have to put the little mushroom vent in, but I'm thinking maybe we'll put that in afterwards because we're going to be handling this and there's less chance of breaking it off. Okay, so let's going to go something like this. Now, for some reason, this is not supposed to fit flush up against the side of the funnel. There's supposed to be a space there. Because the way this thing's designed, that's the way it has to be. I wonder what this was. You know, it's got a vent in the top. Are we going to be able to get at that vent? Oh yeah. Okay, let's what do we use here? Probably the extra thin will be good. Okay. Maybe trying to do this on camera is not a good idea. I'm just holding it, giving it a little bit of pressure there. I think we got it more or less straight. Does it look like the gap is even? I think it is. Okay, let's press stop here and I'll put the other one on off camera. Okay, our funnel is probably halfway done. And we will continue on in the next episode. I'm going to be calling it quits for today. And I know, here I go, putting it on the rotator and spinning it around, and well, I kind of think it's a good idea. Do I cut these straight? This one doesn't look straight to me, but maybe when the photo etch part is on the top, and you know we're not going to be seeing down there. Now that's another thing. I've got to remember to paint the inside of here before I put the photo etch piece on. Yeah, we'll be painting it flat black. After all, the inside of this funnel would undoubtedly be all sooty and everything. It'd be almost pitch black. That must have been an awful place to have to work if you had to do anything. Anyway, thanks for watching, everybody. And all being well, we'll be seeing you tomorrow.